Hey guys, and welcome to an Aspie's Point of View, where I give you my opinion on stuff. So, I just finished watching last night's episode of The Good Doctor, and let me just start off by saying I am pissed off. Period. So, let me start with the accuracies. So, when I was watching, I noticed that Sean was unable to move on from one case to the next. He needed to see the case all the way through. And that was the first thing I thought about when at the end of the last episode they said he was going into pathology, was the mystery aspect. So I don't know about all autistic people, but I am big into research and solving mysteries and finding out the truth. And I will dig and dig and dig for hours on whatever it is that I'm looking for, whether it's information about the Titanic or whether it's information about an abandoned amusement park. I will go to the ends of the internet and lose hours of time doing research because I can't let things go until I feel like I've learned everything there is to know about it. And so when Sean was unable to move on from case to case, I was like, yes, absolutely, that was a huge problem with placing him in this job. And I was glad that they touched on that. That being said, when Sean finally stood up for himself and was turned down, flat down, was unbelievable. So Sean stood up for himself and said he didn't want to be a pathologist. He wanted to be a surgical resident again. Standing up for yourself is something that took me 28 years to even begin to do, and I still don't do it very often. And this is a man who we've never seen stand up for himself, not in the entire time of the show, and he finally stands up for himself. And at first it seemed like the chief of surgery was receptive. He said, I was wondering if you had the courage to do that, to stand up for yourself. And then immediately he followed it up with, but you proved today that you can't be a surgical resident. You proved me right. And I don't see how that's the case, because Sean was able to take what they thought was a terminal diagnosis and solve it and make a young girl's life go way better than anyone would have ever intended for it to go, because no one was going to do anything to help her. They were planning on putting her on palliative care, and she didn't have a malignant tumor in her brain. She had a worm in her brain, which Sean figured out because Sean did the research and Sean wanted to solve the mystery. So in my eyes, Sean proved exactly why he makes a good doctor. Now, yes, it is very true that Sean does not have a good bedside manner, that he is not able to communicate effectively with patients all the time, particularly when the patient asked if she could give him a hug and he just said no. I don't blame him. When customers used to give me hugs at work, it freaked me out and I did not want them. But, there are definitely things that Sean still needs to work on, but Sean is an excellent, excellent surgeon, and he has a brain like no other. And one of the things that really got to me was when various people went to the chief of surgery to try and stand up for Sean before Sean stood up for himself, they were met with very strong resistance. But some of the resistance happened in a conversation with Dr. Lim, where basically she was told, imagine Sean leading a group of residents. And yes, there is a negative to that. The group of residents would not learn to communicate effectively. The group of residents would not feel like they were being articulated to in a soft-spoken manner. But to be perfectly honest, when have we ever seen residents that weren't thrown into the Shark Tank? I think that a group of residents would learn a lot from Sean that they couldn't learn from any other doctor. They would learn a lot about ingenuity, and they would learn a lot about medicine that other doctors simply wouldn't think about. And maybe, just maybe, Sean would be great at instructing new doctors because of the way he thinks outside of the box. And so it bothered me because this doctor seems to only want to look at the bad. He doesn't want to look at the good ever with Sean, and he barely knows him. And that absolutely kills me, and it breaks my heart. And at another point, he asked whether they would be standing up for Sean if he didn't have autism. And the fact of the matter is he does. And everyone knew he did when he came in to work at that hospital. And so they are standing up for him because he has autism, yes. But the chief of surgery is persecuting Sean because he has autism. So really, who is in the wrong here? They're all doing it because he has autism. It's not like the chief of surgery just doesn't like the way that Sean is doing his work and everybody else is saying, oh, but he has autism, give him time. No, the chief of surgery doesn't like the fact that Sean has autism, and the people that are trying to stand up for him are trying to say, yes, he has autism, but he has all these positive traits. So I am still really angry. I'm hoping that maybe in an upcoming episode we'll see a surgeon with a really horrible bedside manner, and the chief will realize you don't need to have excellent communication skills to be an excellent surgeon. I'm still hoping that the chief will come crawling to Sean on his hands and knees begging for Sean to come back into the program, although I don't think we'll ever see that. It would be a great thing to see, because honestly, he lost a great asset when he threw Sean out of that program and placed him into the lab. And yes, the lab gained a great asset, but Sean will never feel fulfilled there. Sean will always have his mind halfway out that door because he can't move on from case to case. He has to solve the case that's in front of him. And that is something that will prevent him from succeeding as a pathologist, but it's something that makes him a great surgeon. And so last night's episode just really ticked me off. I'm still really upset with the show, but comment down below what you thought of the episode. Let me know if I should make more of these Aspie Reacts videos, because I really do like making them. I think that for people to hear the reaction from someone who actually is on the spectrum is really important, and it's something that you don't get enough of. People don't talk enough about how true this is, or how it feels, or what a person with autism actually thinks about what they're watching, because it's not very prevalent online. So I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying these. If you are, give a like, let me know that you're enjoying them. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so that you can be notified when my videos do go up, because I don't have a very regular posting schedule. And until next time, this has been an Aspie's Point of View. Hopefully next time you see me, I am not as pissed off. And good night, guys.